Hello, good morning, and welcome to this early morning taste challenge. Not dawn busters, it's daylight already, barely. It is daylight. So this is going to count Friday. It's going to be too hectic Friday. Anyway, we have Fandango Friday tomorrow night, scheduled at 6:30 Eastern Time with liqueurs. I still got to get through the 99 brands. I only have a few left. I found something new from Sazerac as far as liqueurs is called Ice 100 proof. So now they got 99 brand, now this 100 proof ice. I got to check that out. Probably the same sort of thing, but it's got its own website apparently. Anyway, here's a bottle. Here's a whiskey that has no website. It is the Northern Lights. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors, bottled by Barton Imports, Louisville, Kentucky. Well, Barton has been owned by Sazerac for the last 12 years. It says established 1879. Now I put 1968. Well, let me explain that to you. This is a pretty bottle. It's got these diamonds on the neck, and it's a really pretty price that I got on it at Winn-Dixie. And here's the label will show the Northern Lights. If you let the light hit the leaf, the maple leaf, it'll show the Northern Lights. Watch. And sometimes it'll even be green, like the green Northern Lights. So when this first came out, it was called the Northern Light, the Northern Light. And you can look at the old ads, it said the Northern Light. But at some point, they changed it to the Northern Lights. Same kind of label, though. 1879 was when Hiram Walker was established, the company Hiram Walker. And they used to make a lot of different products, like 10 High Bourbon. Then they brought in the Northern Lights and a lot of other things. But Hiram Walker, like so many, got bought out, so you'll still see some of their brands lingering around, and it'll say, like I said, 1879, but that's when Hiram Walker was established. And I guess a lot of their brands got bought by Barton, and then Barton got bought out, and now Sazerac has it. But like I said, the maple leaf shows the Northern Lights. Yeah, there's a little bit of that green coming through. All right, enough special effects. Anyway, they had this on closeout at Winn-Dixie because they were getting rid of the glass bottles and going to just the plastic handles. And they had it for $4.75. The tag said $4.74, but it rang up to $4.75. Well, I'm going to argue over a penny. So $4.75 for a bottle of whiskey. Pretty good deal. No age statement. It says Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Yeah. Here is McAdams family. Oh, and this one has two lions also holding up a shield with the maple leaf and a crown on it, representing the Dominion of Canada, Queen Elizabeth II. They always, these Canadian whiskeys almost always had that, a crown, royal things that Americans don't typically have anything to do with or any interest in, but you know what I'm saying. So here's the same thing, McAdams, two lions holding up a shield with a crown on it. Similar, almost the same design, but it's, it's different, but similar idea. Introduced in 1987, bottled in Minnesota by Prestige Beverage Group. Prestige Beverage Group does have a web page for it, and I got a link below. Doesn't say much. Says drink it on the rocks or in a cocktail. There's nowhere that it recommends drinking it neat. And I can see why, because it's a little rough around the edges. I got this for $7.99 for the liter at Total Wine and More. Not a closeout sale, just a regular price, $7.99 for the liter. The Northern Lights will usually run you about $10 for a bottle. 10, 11 at a store that's charging too much, 10 at a store that's charging the right amount. You can get it at Total Wine and More, and I don't remember the price, but it's around that. Might be cheaper. I can check. In fact, let's look it up. Let that page load up. But anyway, so let's pour it. McAdams, Yeah, MCA, MCA, MC Adam. McAdams, MCA, McAdams. Okay, y'all, it's time to get nice. $1987, McAdams, MCA. Well, what do you know? Anyway, I got it right, 2 in a row. They're both golden. Usually I can't get the level correct, and I keep adding, and it's too much. But yeah, it's almost perfect. Gold and gold. Let's see. It's chilly outside. What's that called? The Northern Lights. Oh, nothing's popping up. Spirits. Here we go. And they still have it listed by the old name, Northern Light. Northern Light. And they even show the old label. Crazy. $7.99. So it's cheaper there. $13.99 for the handle. Get the handle. If you're going to drink it all, get the handle because you're going to get more per ounce. But then you got to, it says Canada. There's no website, but you know they got this from the distributor, meaning the distributor got it from Sazerac. So let me zoom. I wish I could screen share with you, but I can't. Come on, Total Wine. Y'all got to get updated. Why y'all showing this old 1980 something label? Imported, highest quality Northern Light. Canadian blended whiskey. And showing an old maple leaf painting. This is age 36 months. Well, that's what the old bottle says. Isn't that something? It says, sweet to the nose, this medium-bodied whiskey has a smooth mouthfeel and silky entry, carrying sweet caramel flavors that are freckled with cinnamon spice notes. Finish is short and mildly sweet. I love reading these labels because they're always like way more expansive and elaborate than the product. James P. Madonna says, like the violin playing. They're playing the violin. Oh, it's so fancy. That's why it's $7.99. Because it's so fabulous, you know. Here we go, McAdams. Let's see what they describe it, how they describe it here. And they only sell it in liters. Strange. No handle bottles. Okay. Don't know why they made that choice. Oh, the price went up 50 cents. $8.49. Thanks, Uncle Joe. Because it was $7.99 for the longest. That's what I paid. Canada, pale amber color. Yeah. Mild spicy raisin compote. Compote. Chocolate covered orange peel and pralines aromas follow through on a brisk entry to a dryish, light to medium body with creamy vanilla and mineral oil notes. Finishes with a nut skin and cocoa accented fade. Oh yeah, all of that, huh? So man, if you read the websites, these are just, they're fabulous. You just can't get over it. But you do have to taste them, and then it's not so fabulous. But it's not as horrible as you might think either. Okay, so they're not terrible either. But it's just fun to read those. I don't care how bad the product is, like how low grade. Just think of like the cheapest gin ever and read the Total Wine description. It's just so flowery and favorable. And they're not writing it. You know they're not. They're just getting it from the distributor, and the distributor's getting it from the manufacturer. And you know that's how that works. I don't even remember all those descriptors. It's too flowery. Well, yeah, I know the beer companies are the same way. Wine too. Carlo Rossi. You read that, you think it's the most intricate wine ever made. All right. Right off the bat, the one in my left hand has a much more sweet candy-like, and you want to say caramel candy aroma. It's not like super aromatic, but it has more of it. This one is like a flat aroma. You might be able to pick out a little bit of the caramel candy in the wood, but it's so faint. It's too much effort. Let's go with the taste. Couldn't sleep too well last night. The cat was keeping me up. What a pain. Not a pet, a pest. Yeah, sugar water. Drink these whiskeys and they taste like sugar water. I noticed the Scotch whiskeys, though, they taste like bread. That's the truth. They don't really taste like sugar water. I was drinking a Ballantine. The lady gave me three little glass bottles of Ballantine, 100 milliliters each. After the hurricane, everybody's nerves was bad. After the hurricane, everybody's nerves was on edge. And those made me feel better. I drank one each day. And I was like, oh, it's just like medicine, you know. And I said, how could people say this is a bad product? It's just such a rich bread flavor. Now, those bottles were about 40 years old, 50 years old. So maybe it's changed. Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Bingo, Jack. There it is. The Northern Lights. It's got that candy caramel, vanilla extract, almond extract, white rum. It's not extracts. I don't think they're allowed to add almond extract or vanilla extract. It has to be some kind of spirits like rum or brandy. But see, those can make it taste that way. It's so obviously Sazerac. I'm sorry, Barton. So let's see. This will not say Mec A. Nope, it's the Northern Lights. Got it. Now, I did get it wrong once in the McAdams taste challenges, but I think I only got it wrong once so far. So does McAdams stand out? Yeah, not necessarily in a good way. What I mean is, it's just like so plain that if anything else has an unusual component, then you're going to say, oh, that's the one with the unusual component. Since Sazerac of Canada, since their whiskeys tend to have an unusual component, I didn't say a bad component, unusual, then you can kind of detect them. This is just like standard. It's very similar to Crown Royal, but with some rough edges around the back end of the sip, which you notice Crown Royal doesn't really have that so much. Has it a little bit. You insulted him a little bit. But you see, McAdams is only aged 3 years. Crown Royal is probably more like 6 years. We don't know because there's no age statement. We can only guess. Seagram's VO has no age statement, but the LCBO, the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, claims it's aged 6 years. I don't see why they would make that up. They have no reason to make it up. It's the same old thing. They probably got a sell sheet from the people that make Seagram's VO, and they just say, oh, okay, age 6 years, whatever you say. You know, they don't care. They're selling it. So it seems like it is. So if you drink Seagram's VO, it seems like it's aged 6 years. It's smoother. It gives it a little smoothness. Is Seagram's VO like a fantastic sipping whiskey? No. And in fact, when Diageo used to own it, they used to tell you right off the bat on the website, this is good for mixing. First thing, it's good for mixing. I don't know what Sazerac says about it. A lot of fancy talk, but I don't recall them saying it's good for mixing. But you can look on the Sazerac.com website, and they do list Seagram's VO. They have its own little web area for it. But the Northern Lights, nah, they don't bother talking about it. They used to on the old Sazerac website, and they would have all that flowery language. Oh, it's just so incredibly good. Is there a Northern Lights small batch? I think there is a Northern Lights small batch. And I think you won't be able to find it. I have never seen it. They used to show it on the Sazerac website. But you never know what you'll run across. Like everybody can find Taka Baka, Taka, everywhere, here, there, everywhere. Like the Beatles, they're here, there, and everywhere. Taka Baka, especially around New Orleans. They got billboards. Every major highway in the New Orleans area has a billboard, at least one, and usually 2 or 3 billboards for Taka. So it's very popular here. Has always been popular here. It was created here in 1952. But they'll never at any point reference Taka 100, the red label. Never, 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 never. But they got it right there at Walmart in the little sample bottles. And they got it at Winn-Dixie and Destrehan in the full-size bottle. So it just goes to show you. These companies make the whiskeys they tell you about, or the gin they tell you about, or the vodka they tell you about, and then they make all these other ones that they don't tell you about, but that you can see it's there. I'm looking at it on the shelf. Now we know there's the McAdams Light. That's on the website. It's called McAdams Light Canadian Whiskey. It's only like 60 proof. I don't know what the purpose of that is. People must use it for some reasoning. I don't know what the reason is. But anyway, could there be McAdams flavors, cherry and whatnot? Yeah, it's the same thing. You know, look at a Seagram 7 Crown. Perfect example. They got Seagram 7, they got the apple, and they got the, what's that other flavor? Oh, it's like peach, something. I don't know. But I was at Dornest. There's the cinnamon. Right there, cinnamon flavor, the red hot flavor. You know, it's like the Seagram 7 Crown version of Fireball. And there is also a Seagram's like salted caramel. Seagram 7, but you'll never see it on the website. But it's there in the store. I saw it. I got ears, Frank. I hear things. So which of these products wins? Well, honestly, it's hard to say. Personally, I prefer the Northern Lights with that caramel flavoring, or whatever that flavoring is, vanilla, something. I get the feeling they're using Caliber white rum in it. If they're using Caliber white rum, that makes perfect sense, because Caliber white rum is about the strangest tasting thing you'll ever taste. It's like cotton candy at the state fair. And you can see how if you added it to this whiskey, it would make it taste like that. And that's allowed in Canada. Oh, okay, as long as they don't go above 9.9% of the volume. You say, well, you got a sweet tooth. You like sweet things. I do like sweet things, especially if they're caramel or chocolate based. So, okay. McAdams. Do I have a problem with it? Do I take issue with it? No, I don't. Is it fabulous? No. Is it unpleasant? No. Is it kind of nice? Yeah. Would I buy it again? Theoretically, I would. I mean, in reality, I won't, because I got so many other brands I want to go after. But it's fine. It's fine. Now, if you want to get a little bit of above premium Canadian whiskey, you get 40 Creek. That'll run you about $20 a bottle. Saw it all around, $19.99. You'll go crazy when you hear the price I paid. But then there's the 40 Creek Copper Pot still version. John and Ilya let me try it. It was really good. It ain't gonna be $19.99. It's gonna cost you considerably. It's gonna cost considerably more. You can get Crown Royal Black, which is a much higher grade of Crown Royal. Most people don't want it. It's too rich. Crown Royal Bourbon Mash blenders. I saw Bourbon Mash just Tuesday. Whole shelf, not blenders mash, Bourbon Mash. Same product. Yes, that's a much nicer Crown Royal, but it's going to cost you how much? It's going to, well, it's only going to be $4 more a bottle. What am I talking about? You can get Crown Royal for $23 and the Bourbon Mash for $27. Oh well, $4 and you get a much better product. Yeah, well, go ahead, buy it. The Northern Harvest Rye, 90 proof. That's a jewel. That is a jewel. But that's not a typical Canadian whiskey. You see, that's different because that's 90% rye. Okay, so that's a different animal. That's not really Canadian blended whiskey. That's Canadian rye whiskey, which you would put in competition against things like, well, Canadian Club Rye, for example. That would be its chief competitor. Or George Dickel Rye and Jack Daniels Rye and all of these things. Jim Beam Rye, which I've never had, but I'd love to try. So, and I know where to get it. So, final answer. Are these pretty nice products to buy? Yes, I do believe so. Should you go overboard and make them bigger than they are? No. Are they nice, ordinary, run-of-the-mill, kind of lower shelf products? Yes, that's what they are. It's what they are. So not as wonderful as you would hope them to be. Not nearly as bad as some people claim them to be. But about what you would expect them to be for the price. And probably a little better than you would expect. You know what I'm saying? Because you're expecting an atrocity, but you're just getting a nice, serviceable product. And I can't complain about that. So cheers to the Northern Lights, or as Total Wine and More, it still lists it, Northern Light, which it hadn't been called for a long time. But I mean, if you look it up, you know, you'll find it. Yeah, cheers to this product. It's pretty good. Been on the market as long as I've been on the market. You know what I mean? They started it in my honor. When I was born, they said, let's start a new whiskey in his honor. And if you believe that, okay, no, but it's a coincidence. And McAdams, yeah, nice little product. Nice little product. Nice little product. All right, so what's coming up next? Well, I can tell you what's coming up next. It's going to be James Fox versus McAdams on Saturday morning. Oh, yeah, James Fox is another one of those big splash whiskeys that they introduced in 1975. Oh, this is the next big thing. Seagrams, you know, they were always introducing the next big thing, and then it would never become the big thing until somebody else bought it. Like Eagle Rare came out in 1975. Eagle Rare, 10-year age. That means they had been aging it since 1965. This is it. This is the big deal. And no one cared about it. For whatever reason, I guess in 1975, bourbon was kind of like a dead product, you know, in a relative sense. And so 14 years later, Seagrams tells Sazerac, hey, you want to buy Eagle Rare? I mean, people don't really want it, and we could sell it to you cheap. Along with James Fox and 12 other brands. And Sazerac said, you got it. Here's the millions. And they got Eagle Rare. Now look at Eagle Rare. It will come into a store and be gone in one day. In one day, it's gone. One day. Mathern's got it last week. Well, don't try to find it this week. You ain't going to find it. And Mathern's would order a pallet of it if they could get it. And they would sell the entire pallet. They would sell 60 cases. That's how popular Eagle Rare is. They got people go berserk over it. They get on a waiting list and so forth, pay $60 a bottle. I'm sorry, what am I saying? That's Blanton's. $30 a bottle. $30, sorry, $30 a bottle. Now there is the double Eagle. Double Eagle. It's aged like, oh, I don't know, 17 years. Well, you ain't going to find that. It's got an eagle inside the glass. Like the bottle has a cut crystal eagle inside the bottle. Some artist in France did it. I mean, you could probably call Sazerac and say, look, I want to get Double Eagle. And they could probably get you a bottle, and you could go down to the Sazerac house on Canal Street, New Orleans, and get it. In fact, I think they had it. But when you see the price, you're going to have it. You say, what do you mean it? Yeah, a heart attack. It's that expensive. But then people buy it so they can brag, look, yeah, I got Double Eagle. We were at Sazerac house, and the lady says to me and David, would you like to try Eagle Rare? And David said, well, I would really like to try that Double Eagle that was up on the shelf behind her. And she laughed. Ha. She said, we can't get samples of that. So, and they got the last drop, 1974, I think, over there. Well, it was probably 1976 now. The last drops, blended Scotch. Why? They'll sell you that for a low price of only $4,999.95. Right there at Sazerac House, $49.95 right there at the distillery, because it's a distillery and a tourist center in New Orleans. What do they distill there? Sazerac rye. That's what we only pay $17.99 for Sazerac rye over here. $17.99. That's every day. If you look around, you can find it $17.99. Just saw it $17.99. Where other people paying $60 for Sazerac rye. Well, they make it in New Orleans, you see, and in Frankfort, Kentucky. But by golly, the last drop. If I pay $49.99.95, it better be great. But you could probably negotiate. If you went to Sazerac House and say, you know, man, I ain't paying $4,900 for this bottle of the last drop, and there's a website for that, obviously. You might tell them, I'll give you $4,000 even. They probably deal, you know, they'll negotiate. That's how those kind of products work. They'll negotiate, like buying a car, you know. They got their upcharge and everything. All right. Anyway, so Sazerac, interesting company. Prestige Beverage Group is the same way, because they have some really seriously expensive products that you can buy, you know, thousands of dollars a bottle. Same thing. And the cut rate stuff. Sazerac, same thing. Sazerac's got their $5,000 bottles of whiskey and brandy, cognac, and then they got their $7.99 bottles, you know, same story. And probably they make most of their money from the cut rate stuff, because people buy it en masse, in mega volume. For every $1,000 bottle of vodka that Sazerac sells, and they exist, they're probably selling 1 million bottles of Taka, or even worse, Crystal Palace. You say, oh no, not Crystal Palace. Next thing you're going to talk about is Crown Russ that they bought from Seagram's in 1989. Crown Russ vodka. Oh man, I bought some of that once and I drank it. It really wasn't that bad, actually. All right, thanks for watching this video production.